everybody, it's the Middle Geek and my partner Graham over here.
Milky.
Hey guys, I know it's been a while since you've heard our lovely voices, and for those of you who remember...
We're back!
Yes, we are. For those of you who joined us for our Gotham podcast back a while ago, you already know how this pretty much works. For those of you who didn't join us then, well, you're going to get to know us tonight.
Things are going to be spoiled, so if you want to... Not this episode, but in upcoming episodes, so if you want to view what we're going to be talking about, we're going to give you a list later on this episode of what we plan on viewing for the first couple episodes of Tooncast podcast.
Well, I'm going to say we might spoil a couple things tonight. You know?
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
It could be. So guys, just a little bit of a brief history. We're moving on to this podcast because it's a little bit more general interest. We get to cover a lot of different things. It also does take the pressure off a little bit of having to produce weekly in case something comes up.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee you, every episode that we do, we're going to give you some great insight into the cartoons, where you can find them, what we think about them, what our favorite characters are, maybe theme songs, stuff like that.
Yeah, and also hopefully we'll have some guests. We're going to do some interviews at cons that we go to. Hopefully get some different, fresh perspectives on a cartoon series that we love and enjoy. So, yeah, very looking forward to be doing this right now.
And let's be clear, no cartoon is off limits, guys. If it's on TV now, it could get covered. If it hasn't been on TV in 15, 20, 30, 40, 100 years, it can still be covered. We're not limiting ourselves, but we are, not going to focus on cartoons that are currently running. Though cartoons such as the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Nickelodeon is certainly going to pop up.
Yeah, we'll cover that in our turtle history of through the years of them in animation form. Exactly.
So we're kind of here to tell you a little bit about how the series is going to go. We're not really covering anything in particular tonight. It's just kind of an introduction back, guys. And we're going to, ask ourselves some questions, and you're going to get a little bit of insight into what we really like. So,
all right. I guess you want to start off. I'll ask you. Who is your all-time favorite cartoon character?
That's actually a very easy question for me because it's one of the only cartoon characters I can distinctly remember, other than the Ninja Turtle, and which I actually dressed up for as Halloween. And,
me too.
yeah, and I did Ninja Turtles, I did Leonardo, but here's the funny thing, and I'm going to give you a little bit of fun facts in this. My favorite character in any TV series for animation is by far and away Maximilian Sterling, or Max Sterling from Robotech. He's like the ace pilot. If for those of you guys who watched it, you remember him. He had the plum-colored glasses and long blue hair. Always my favorite character. Now, the fun fact is that, one, the voice of Max Sterling was done by Cam Clark, who, again, Max Sterling had the blue hair. Well, here's the fun fact now, is that Cam Clark played the voice of the original Leonardo on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the blue mask.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
So, again, Cam Clark is my favorite voice actor, guys, just so you know that.
Sweet.
Mac's favorite character, easily.
Sweet. For me, I would have to say Batman from the Batman animated series.
That's a pretty badass answer.
Just the way he was voiced, just the way he conducted himself, like as if like the writers like wrote him and stuff. Very spot on, very influential on me growing up. I had every single Batman figure from the animated series, and it just holds a special place in my heart.
Oh, Kevin Conroy knocked it out.
Yeah, I actually met him at this previous New York Comic Con. Yeah. I was able to get him to sign my DVD set.
And that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he was really... He talked to me in his Bruce Wayne voice.
I've seen that signature, guys. It's true. It's happened.
It's legit.
It's legit. It's legit. Now, this is where a little bit of spoilers come into play, because you brought up the Batman, the animated series, and I just have to. And have you been keeping up with The Flash?
Yes.
Mark Hamill is a trickster.
Yes.
I mean, it was Joker on crack, man.
Yeah, but he reclaimed the role from the original Flash TV series in the early 90s, and he actually had the trickster role before the Joker voice his doing the Joker voice for the animated series, and you could tell now on how he kind of mixed the two together, like his original portrayal of the trickster and the Joker voice. I had little moments where he was laughing and stuff like that, where I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah, it was awesome.
oh my god.
You got another question for me, Milky?
Yeah, sure. What's your favorite intro to a show?
Believe it or not, it actually, and we're going to cover this at some point. It's King Arthur and the Knights of Justice.
Oh, you took mine.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
great minds think alike here, man.
It's rocking.
It's one of the only songs that when I hear it playing, I can legitimately think it's just some metal band being cheesy.
Yeah, like an 80s like riff, like
It's
awesome.
Yes. Let me give you a question.
Sure.
Completely opposite question. Well, not opposite, but a different one. What is your favorite series, and then what is the favorite episode in that series?
Oh, I have to go with Batman the Animated Series. And my favorite episode, there's so many, but I have to say Almost Got Him, where the episode opens up with Batman's rogues around a table, and they each have like a little 5-minute story of how they almost caught the Batman. And the episode goes on, and like they're in like a dive bar, fights are going on. And at the end of the episode, spoiler, Killer Croc is revealed to be Batman. Batman pulls off the Killer Croc mask, and all around them is Gotham's finest, ready to arrest them and take them away. But just the way they set up the entire episode, it was awesome. Either that or close to that is Perchance to Dream, where Bruce Wayne isn't Batman, and it's actually all a scheme by the Mad Hatter, and you see Bruce Wayne slowly lose his mind throughout the episode, thinking that he isn't Batman, and he finally has the perfect life, and he's married to Selena Kyle, and his parents are alive, and those are very, very much up there on my favorite episodes of Batman the Animated Series.
Two very good picks. Any more questions from me?
Yeah. If you could cross over any two cartoon series, which two would you choose?
Actually, my answer to that, I actually have the answer to that, believe it or not. I would actually cross over the real Ghostbusters with the 1980s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And the reason being is, how would the Ghostbusters react to gigantic mutant Ninja Turtles running through the city? Are they going to bust them? Or...
Yeah. Raph saying, I ain't no ghost.
Yeah, I can totally see that too. But those two cartoons had very similar feels to them. And I think it would mesh really well.
Yeah, I would actually go with the Ninja Turtles from the 80s with Gargoyles from the 90s.
That's very tonally different, but that would be pretty awesome.
Just imagine them fighting in the sky, like jumping between Gargoyle, in flight, the Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That would be pretty cool. But their adventures would only be at nighttime because the Gargoyles during the day they turn into stone. So.
Well, if we could mix a third cartoon into that batch, it would probably be Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? Well, we know what our favorite theme songs are, basically, because we did that. But getting away from the theme song and just the intro in general, like how it's put together, what would you think is your favorite intro in general? Again, bearing in mind, without the music.
Very biased on this one. I have to go back to Batman the Animated Series.
It's
that short little clip of him, two bank robbers robbing a bank and exploding it, the Batmobile firing up, taking out, going out of the Batcave, and then to Batman, landing on the roof, taking the two criminals out. If you take that, that's basically a short film. If you take out the music, it's a short, silent film.
It really is.
Which is just the point of Batman. And, he's out there to fight crime.
If I may add, too,
sure.
If someone wanted to ask me, again, going back to your favorite theme song, one of the reasons why I would actually leave Batman off the list is because it's Danny Elfman's score from the movie.
Yeah.
Which worked really awesome for the cartoon. It was amazing, but it wasn't necessarily an original piece for the cartoon. It was a shortened version of it. So that's just another random fact about me, guys. Any more questions for me, Milky, before we move on?
What series would you bring back if you could choose one series?
That's actually, again, the answer is very simple for me, and it's actually a series that's very recent. It would be The Legend of Korra, because even though the show did get its opportunity to finish, I do believe that the way it was mishandled by Nickelodeon, and how the budget was cut during the last season, there was actually the creators lost an entire episode, and they didn't lose it. They made a clip episode, and they did it creatively, but at the end of the day, it was a clip episode, so they lost an entire episode to tell a story. And Brian and Mike, the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, has spoken publicly and very adamantly about how they were upset with that. And the only reason why they decided to go with the clip episode is to keep the people that worked under them employed for an episode.
That's pretty cool. They seem like good guys. I haven't
really
seen the series at all, but having the show, I plan on watching.
It is a very great show. And I feel that had it been given one more season, or at the very least, a few more episodes, or at least get rid of that clip episode, that they could have properly told the story the way they wanted to. And again, this is me, who absolutely loves that show. The Legend of Korra is probably my favorite modern show right now, even though it's not on the air anymore. And it was, in all respects, in absolute all respects, well written, but you can see where they had to cut corners once in a while because of the strings being pulled by Nickelodeon. So, what series would you bring back?
I would bring back Justice League Unlimited or Young Justice, but more Justice League Unlimited, because I like Bruce Timm's animation style. I like his character designs. I love the stories, even though it was like they had a maximum of three to four characters each episode. I liked it because it focused on the different members, like how they had to work together and overcome and get the mission done.
Well,
and that also had a very good intro.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now I would actually disagree a little bit with you here, and the reason why I'd pick Young Justice over Unlimited is because Young Justice really got cut off too soon.
Yeah, I totally agree with you with that.
It wasn't. The story wasn't done.
Yeah.
We knew it wasn't done, and Cartoon Network pulled their let's get rid of this because we can't afford it kind of thing. And they did the same thing to Thundercats.
And what was really weird is that there wasn't really a toy line. The toy line came really late for the Young Justice. So,
I know.
If the toy line came out with the series, there'd probably be an extra season or two of Young Justice.
Possibly.
But, at the time when Young Justice came out, there was no toy line incorporated with that series.
Teen Titans as well. I mean, I know they got Teen Titans Go, but I mean,
I don't really there's a couple episodes, but I just can't get into it.
Well, it's meant for really.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying,
what it does well for young kids. It's just that if you're over the age of 5, you're probably more like what happened to the storyline.
Yeah.
Guys, don't underestimate the people who watch animation, whether they're young or old. They can follow. I mean, Korra, again, and Avatar: The Last Airbender, Gargoyles were great examples of cartoons that told extremely sophisticated storylines. And yet, kids loved it because big, bad fist fights are happening.
Yeah.
All that crap is happening, but at the end of the day, I mean, Gargoyles, it was like Shakespeare in motion. They even used Shakespearean literature for their, for their inspirations.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I would definitely say that Young Justice definitely needed another season. I got a question for you, an offshoot of that question.
Okay.
Do you have Netflix?
Yes, I do.
Are there any shows right now that you want to see come to Netflix that are not on Netflix? If you could appeal to Netflix and say, hey, I would watch this if you brought it. I would point every person in the country out to watch it if you brought it to your network.
I have to look up what's on Netflix available, but I'd probably say either the '90s Spider-Man cartoon, the '90s X-Men cartoon, or I'd say Batman the Animated Series.
I'm pretty sure Batman.
Yeah,
the
but at
Animated
one
Series.
point, yeah, I think it was on there.
But it's not there now, as far as I know.
Yeah.
They actually had Avatar: The Last Airbender, the entire 3 books, on there, and they pulled it for contract reasons. I want to see that come back. I really do. I mean, there's a lot of people that I feel need to be exposed to that, and I know I'm kind of being a big cheerleader for Avatar and Korra tonight, but there's two.
Don't worry, I'm being one for Batman.
Well, okay, so let's get out of Batman mode. Let's get out of Avatar mode for a second. Now, guys, we're going to be covering a lot of these cartoons. Now, we're going to be covering a list of others. I'll name a few. Milky's got a whole list he can name off to you, but Spider-Man the Animated Series, Batman the Animated Series. We're going to have King Arthur and the Knights of Justice at some point. Bucky O'Hare.
You said Spider-Man, Darkwing Duck, Real Monsters, Doug, Justice League Unlimited, maybe Ultimate Spider-Man, Biker Mice from Mars, Cowboys and Mumesa, Transformers, The Tick, Freakazoid, The Real Ghostbusters, Street Sharks, and then basically any animation movie
Absolutely.
under the sun.
Now, again, this is kind of our wish list too, so we intend to kind of like get to these. Of course, there could be reasons we might not, either, because of availability reasons or stuff like that. But also, I'd like to see like Invader Zim.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd like to do that at some point. We do plan to host an episode to the rise of Toonami in anime in the U.S. Now, there's been 3 distinct time periods when anime has grown in the U.S. We'll get way more into this later, but just in the 60s and 70s with like Speed Racer and Kimbo the White Lion, in the 80s with late 70s and early 80s to mid 80s, and then we're looking at like Battle of the Planets, Robotech, Voltron, which were all U.S. shows that took Japanese anime and rewrote them.
Mm-hmm.
And then again in the late 90s when, believe it or not, the friggin' little Pokemon came out, and that just jumped
Dragon Ball Z,
and Dragon Ball Z with Toonami, and that's what we're going to kind of get into. Tenchi Muyo and Tenchi Universe, all that stuff came out during that point. I would actually like to do an episode, and I'm not saying it will happen, but I'd like to actually, Tom the Robot from Toonami.
Yeah.
I'd like to actually get into his origins.
Yeah. Like we said at the top of the show, we're going to try doing interviews, try to get some special guests on. Who knows, maybe a creator here or there, but anything's possible right now.
Anything is possible. I mean, we'll do what's possible to do. We'll do whatever we can do, and we'll just kind of take it from there. Now, with the format of the show, guys, we're going to be kind of introducing ourselves every episode because, we're cool that way. And yeah, we're narcissists, man. But then we're going to give you like, we're going to kind of set the mood and give you a little bit of a clip of the theme music. And then we're going to kind of get into a review, our favorite characters, our favorite moments in episodes. If it's a movie, obviously, it's going to be more favorite moments.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to kind of like get out there and, I don't know, maybe even pit a couple characters against each other, like who would...
Yeah, character showdown, yeah.
Yeah, who would
And
win?
once we get an email figured out and a Facebook figured out, if you guys want to send in suggestions or even post underneath this video of what classic cartoon series you guys like us to review, or any special moments for you with cartoon series, whatever brings you nostalgia, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Now we're gonna kind of get things going like early on. Now, the way we're gonna pretty much start it is I'm gonna be posting this, at least the first couple of episodes, to introduce you guys to my current YouTube channel until we can get some stuff set up. And so I encourage you to go check that out. But we will eventually be moving this to its own YouTube channel, probably within 3 or 4 episodes or less. And the reason for that is we want you guys to really get out there, check it out, see if you're going to like the format. And the one thing I really want to encourage you guys to do is to give us feedback.
Yeah,
because
feedback.
we want to know what you like in the podcast, what interests you, or if they're part of the podcast, if you think it's just boring, let us know. And that way we could tweak it and we could try something different.
And we can make the show fun for all of us.
Exactly. We want you guys to enjoy it, but we want to enjoy it as much as you do. So if you have suggestions to make it better, let us know.
Hit us up.
Hit us up is right. That's all we want to hear is you guys letting us know what you thought of the episodes, what you thought of the cartoons we're covering. We want those discussions too. Come on in, leave comments. When we get YouTube, when we get the Facebook page, and we get our email set up, then you can start sending us emails. You can send us Facebook messages. Really just get involved, guys. That's get involved. We would love to hear from you.
Let's talk.
Let's talk. That will be the next segment. Let's talk. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just very excited. Have a lot of cartoon series to watch. I'm sure my girlfriend's excited about that.
Also, guys, if there's a cartoon series you'd like to see us cover, let us know. Now, again, we do have our time constraints, so give us a little bit of time to watch it. But eventually, if we feel that what you've suggested to us is definitely worth putting on the podcast, it's going to show up.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So,
and just a heads up, upcoming episodes that we're going to be putting out is King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, Batman Year One, the DC animated film, and Spider-Man, the 90s series.
The one that has that epic guitar solo for a theme song by Joe Perry of Aerosmith. Who, well, we won't get any further than that. I got some more facts for you when we get to that episode.
And Gargoyles is also going to be on deck too. I just got done with the first season, and there's one more season left.
Yeah, and well, are you watching like season 1 and 2? Or are you watching season 1 and 2, and then the Goliath Chronicles?
I'm going to do I'm doing season 1, season 2, and then I'll do the Goliath Chronicles.
Because the Goliath Chronicles kind of like it breaks away, and it's a whole different format, so to speak. Xanatos is, spoilers, is finally branded as a good guy in that series. Well, more of a mutual, okay, I now have something at stake, so I need your help.
Yeah.
And I'll help you if you help me. But when we get to the Gargoyles, I'd definitely like to speak about the differences between the first 2 seasons and that 3rd season. They're very tonally different. Very tonally different.
And that show does rip from other sources. A little Batman, a little X-Men, a little, Marvel, DC, little nods here and there, which is kind of cool that I'm picking up while watching season 1.
At some point, I'd also like to do comparison with the real Ghostbusters versus the Extreme Ghostbusters.
Sure.
Now,
that'd be awesome.
What's nice about the Extreme Ghostbusters is it doesn't forget. It actually, I believe it's canon to the real Ghostbusters.
I believe so too.
Because not only do you have the original voice actor for Egon coming back and playing the part of Egon, the other voice actors reprise their roles later down the line in later episodes. So
awesome.
Guys, I think that's it for tonight. As usual, this is the Metal Geek saying have a great one.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tooncast podcast. It's Milky speaking.
And say that 3 times fast. We're out, guys. Have a great one.
See you.